Today on What It's Like, finally, we get to do another Packard. 1930 Packard 726 Standard 8. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that gives you the down low on all of the classics, vintage, some exotics. This channel is home for the orphan cars. We dive in deep with specs, period ads, button switches, and knobs, and most importantly, show what these cars are like. If that sounds like a channel that you will totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. It's been a while since we did a Packard, so founded in 1899 by James Ward Packard, William Dowd Packard, and George West Lewis. They built luxury cars that would rival Rolls-Royce and Bentley. Was one of the three P's of prestige. Peerless and Pierce Arrow are the other two. 1930 Packard model lineup. Packard offered more than 40 body styles in 5 series. Starting in the basement with a 726 Standard 8 series that rides a wheelbase of 127 inches. Actually, let's stop there for a second. Let's try to explain the confusing numbering system that Packard used during this time period. So let's try to break this numbering system down. 726 Standard 8. So the first number is the running series. So the 7 would be series 7. The second and third numbers are chassis length. This is where it gets confusing. 26 is technically, I'm using air quotes, you can't see me, is the chassis length, but on the Standard 8, the wheelbase is actually 127 inches because they had to lengthen the chassis by 1 inch this year because the engine got longer. So it threw the numbering system off. Anyway, 726 Standard 8 on a wheelbase of 127 inches. Only one body style available, that was the 5-passenger sedan, which our car is. Taking a step up sits the 733 Standard 8 on a wheelbase of 134.5 inches. It was offered in 11 body styles plus the chassis. Remember, back then you could get the chassis and take it to any coach builder of your choice and have any car built on that chassis. Next up was the 740 Custom 8. It was also referred to as the Big 8. It rode a wheelbase of 140.5 inches. It was available in 11 body styles plus the chassis. Next up was the 745 Deluxe or Champion. It was available in 11 body styles as well. It rode a wheelbase of 145.5 inches. Sitting at the top was the 734 Speedster 8. It rode a wheelbase of 134 inches. It was available in 5 body styles and chassis. Let's talk options and accessories. When you bought a car back in the day, the options and accessories were totally different than today's featured cars. The trunk was optional, as was the rack to put the trunk on. Different lights, such as wood lights, were popular, and they were a sexy upgrade. Remember when Fast and Loud Gas Monkey Garage did a Packard with wood lights? If you've ever had a car with wood lights, could you share your experience in the comment section below, please, and thank you. 3 louver doors for the hood. You could get this hood instead of the standard hood. The standard hood had the fixed louvers that were always opened, or you could have the louvers that you could open or close manually. Dual side mounts with or without mirrors, fender parking lights, wire wheels, and wood spoke wheels. It's important to note the 726 came with disc wheels, so that was an upgrade that this car has. Packard offered different grille options. You could get the grille that was thermostatically controlled that had fins that would vent air into the engine, and whenever it was at operating temperature, it would close the vents to allow the air not to drag the car down. Or you could get the standard grille that didn't do all that. Packard also offered different hood ornaments as well as seat covers. Changes made to the 1930 Packard over the 1929 Packard. The parking lights were now fender mounted. The big news was the fitment of the 4-speed transmission that was synchro mesh, replacing the 3-speed synchro mesh unit. Tires were 20 inches tall on the 726 and 733, 19 inches tall on 734, 740, and 745. Non-shattered laminated glass was in all of the windows. Little bit different comparison today. 726 on top, 733 on the bottom. Notice the 733 has a different grille, and that one doesn't open or close. It also has wing windows, which was another option. 740, just below that, you can see the higher you go, the fancier they get, and more colors. Packard script on the grille, also longer. 745, and then at the bottom is the 734. Look at the length of that car versus the height. You go down the list, it's very interesting. The roof doesn't seem as tall on the 734 as it does on the 726. Let's talk specs. It rides a wheelbase of 127.5 inches. It weighs 4,100 pounds. That is about the same weight as a Chrysler 300. Price, $2,400, which is equivalent to you spending $43,377.63 in the year 2023. There isn't anything on sale that compares to this car. Nothing compares to Packard. Total 1930 Packard production was 12,531 units. Total standard 8 was 7,989 units. Moving on to engines, which there was only one engine available for this car. 320 cubic inch displacement inline flathead 8. 5.2 liters is good for 90 horsepower, 3,200 RPM, bore of 3.2 inches and a stroke of 5 inches. It features 9 main bearings, backed by the all-new 4-speed synchro mesh unit. If anybody could give any more specs like weight of engine, weight of transmission, running temperature, what the oil pressure should be, I want to include all of that so it helps people when they're buying these cars, what they should be looking for, and running temperature, of course. In the comment section below, please and thank you. Let's talk styling. Just look at how massive these headlights are. Headlights are huge, but not only the headlights, fender lights or marker lights, they're pretty big as well. Just look at how this fender is designed. Look at how it, and then it flows down into, it's got conventional springs, leaf springs. There's a nice bar that goes across here that holds the headlights. This grille, notice the grille is shut. It's thermostatically controlled, so it will open to allow air to cool the engine off. Check out the Flying Lady. Notice this one has wood spoke wheels, and that's real wood. Look at this massive hub. Look at how these fenders are designed, how they come down. This one has side mounts with mirrors mounted on the top of the side mounts. These look to be the original straps. Just look at that. Look at how discolored this is. Look at how this hood is designed. Look at all the different lines. I love that this has like a crease here, but it's not straight on. It's angled up just a wee bit, and then it curves. This one's got a built-in external sun visor. Notice it's a single piece windshield. Cowl vent. Look at this line here in the center, how it peaks. Look at these running boards. Look at how wide they are. Here's my foot for reference. I wear a size 12 shoe. It's wider up there than it is back here, but it's still pretty wide back here. My foot fits on the fender, on the running board pretty well. Look at this little line here. Just look at how this rear fender is designed. Look how it comes back up. This car has drip rails. Battery box is right here on the other side of the side mount. Just look at how the side mount is mounted. So look at the brake light situation. There's brake lights on both sides. And look at how they're mounted. That's pretty cool. Gas tank's right here and the filler cap's right there. This is all for the trunk. You would slide this. So it goes down like that. This is the trunk. You would just put the trunk on the back of the rack like that. So that's what's in it. Some parts. This car has cabinet doors and or coach doors or suicide doors. And they open up like this. So both doors open. That's what it would look like. The rear door opens 90 degrees. The front door opens more than 90 degrees. Here's what the front door looks like. Notice how deep that is. Very deep frame. Just notice that the door isn't straight. It curves going down. This looks like real wood, but it could be simulated. This is the door handle to pull the door shut. This is the door handle to get out. Window crank for the big window. And it operates like this. It's like 3 cranks and it's to the top. There isn't an armrest. This feels like mohair, and then there's carpet at the bottom. Coming down inside the pedal box down here. Emergency brake, clutch, brake, gas pedal spoon type thing. It looks like that's the starter over there on the floor. Just take a look at this interior. Oh, such a quality sounding shot. Here is what first person looks like. Here is what first person over the wheel looks like. Notice the steering wheel turns around the hub. The hub stays stationary, much like an Edsel. This one controls the lights. This one controls throttle. It's like a hand throttle. There is his and her glove boxes in here. This is a glove box down here. And there's a glove box over there. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here is my hand for reference. Here is the glove box in question. The glove box goes quite a ways in. And that is why Packard is better, because it fits in the glove box in a Packard. We just did that in the Lincoln and it didn't work. All right, so the bigger question is does it fit in the driver's side glove box? And the answer is yes. It fits in either side glove box. So that's really, really cool. The cowl vent, which is controlled by this lever right here. And you kind of just push it away from you. That's the first stop. That's the second stop. That's the third stop. And that's all the way open. So just look at that little hood scoop. That's pretty cool. Open in the highest position. This windshield also cranks out. On to the button switches and knobs, which are located in the center. Speedometer, which spins. Odometer and tripometer. Coolant temperature. Oil pressure. Gasoline gauge in the center. Amp meter. These were labeled, which were super helpful. Timing / spark advance and choke. Clock, key. I'm not sure what the top one is, the orange button that's protruded, but the bottom one is the lighter, and it's a pull-out style, which I should have totally showed because it was really interesting. Up above, here's for the windshield wiper. There are sun visors, and they go down the opposite way. So that's what it looks like. That is an absolutely massive sun visor. Here's my hand for reference. This is about the size of a notebook. It's absolutely huge. It's got a big rear view mirror here. It's won an award. This one's for the passenger side. All right, so getting out. See, that's the door handle. That's a very interesting door handle. Look at how high up you are. Getting out is going to be a little bit tricky because this wall, you have to finagle yourself to get out of here a little bit. All right, we're going to get into the back on the passenger side just because there's more space. Now notice that door opens a full 90 degrees. There isn't any armrests on the door itself because there's armrests on the chair itself back here. There is a nice map pocket, side door pocket, door handle to get out, door handle to pull the door shut, window crank for the big window, and notice it doesn't go all the way down. It goes almost all the way down. Also, then again, look at how framed out this door is. And it's not straight either. Notice it curves at the bottom. Look at how much space there is to get in the back. There isn't any jump seats. There's a nice footrest here. Just check out the hinges used. Here is what the back looks like from the front. Let's take a real quick gander at the greenhouse or pillar to glass ratio. This car has curtains in the back. And there's a curtain for the rear window. This is what visibility looks like out the rear window from the back seat. Creature comforts. There's a nice grab to grab onto. It's got curtains. These windows go down as well. And that's about all the further they go down. They go about down halfway. I love how this is all arched. It feels like I'm in a Victorian house. I'm in a Victorian era style car. Nice robe rail. This is to put a heavy blanket onto because it's too far away to really hold on to. I'm 6'2" and I can't reach that. I'm leaning forward and I still can't reach that. Look at my feet. This is the most space out of any car that I've ever been in that's not a limo. This is what I look like sitting in the back seat. I got tons of room. This car is super comfortable. If you have a family and you're hauling around kids, this is a car that you could buy. This would be a perfect car for weddings. If you're chauffeuring bride and groom, because there's tons of room back here for a big poofy dress. Look, it's a hidden compartment that has a cigarette lighter and an ashtray. There's one on both sides. This is just a storage cubby. But the seat is super comfortable. Here's what the seat profile looks like. It's a bit upright, but it's really not that bad. And it dips down in the back here. But like I said, it's not too bad. All right, so getting under the hood, you just release these, which these have quite a bit of tension, and they fit right on top of these studs. And you just lift the hood up. Look at that beautiful straight 8. Look at how the horn is mounted down inside there, down low. Same thing, just release those. Just look at how absolutely gorgeous this engine is. It's all nice and cleaned up. Can anybody tell me what this is? The comment section. It says vacuum gasoline system. On the positive side, the sedan has tons of space for activities, and this is the smaller wheelbase car. They made bigger ones, an iconic luxury brand, nothing less than majestic. Strong club support, 2 long glove boxes. Against it can be extremely expensive depending on model and series. Trucky-like handling, high operating costs. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, they are all sedans. 1930 Pierce Arrow, or 1930 Packard, or 1930 Lincoln, or 1930 Cadillac. I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Moving on to the second scenario. 1930 Cord Boattail Speedster, or 1930 Packard Roadster, or 1930 Cadillac V16 Roadster. I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Moving to Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and song title correctly in the comment section is the key word. First one to do so will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. If you'd like to get in touch with me because you have a car that you would like to see reviewed on this channel, shoot me a comment in the comment section below, or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. Honestly, that is honestly the easiest way to contact me is find me on Facebook, shoot me a message. If you don't have Facebook and would like to get in touch with me, shoot me an email. All of that will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate all the support. And until next time, here are some scenes for our next episode. 1931 REO Model 15 Flying Cloud Sedan. That's what's coming up next on What It's Like. Tune in tomorrow. That's Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern Time. And until then, toodaloo!
I bought a dish and now I'm really mad. It wouldn't work, it's really sad. No high-speed internet, this thing has got to go. We signed a contract, oh no! So next time you buy a dish, you will wish you had your cable back.